Turning our attention now to the ASX. Here's Matt Birney and Bulls and Bears with the latest public company views and interviews.
Welcome to Bulls and Bears, where we break down the latest ASX announcements from public companies that are doing interesting things. Today's Bulls and Bears report is brought to you by Estrella Resources, ASX code ESR. I'm Matt Birney and I'm joined now on 6PR by the CEO of Estrella Resources, Daws. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Matt.
Well, Estrella has been something of a market darling over the last couple of weeks, with its share price running hard from 1.2 cents at the start of the month to 25 cents recently, after the company hit massive nickel sulfides just a kilometre from the old and supposedly mined-out Carboid nickel mine north of Kalgoorlie. Chris, before we get into the actual discovery, can you just tell me quickly about the old Carboid nickel mine? When was it last mined? How much nickel was mined there and at what grades?
Carboid rocks was discovered in the nickel boom in the late 1960s. It was discovered by Great Boulder Mines and then subsequently Great Boulder taken over by Western Mining Corporation, who mined it during the 1970s. Later on, the project has gone in and out of various parties' hands, and then we've come along in 2018 and taken over the project to continue exploration.
Some companies take years to vector in on massive sulfides, and some never hit them at all when searching for nickel and copper. Why did you drill in that exact location? And tell me, what was the discovery?
Yes, look, it does take some time. We've been out probably a couple of years now, but we had some surface indications through historical anomalism in nickel copper at surface, and we also did a ground high-powered moving loop across the area and had a conductive target which we drilled, and we did get an intersection of nickel copper in a RC drill intersection, which we then followed up with some deep diamond drilling north and south, and obviously we intersected a fairly substantial 15 metres of mineralisation and 3 metres of massive sulfide nickel and copper, which is currently in the laboratory for assay, but extremely exciting and a very rare occurrence to hit a blind target at 400 metres depth.
And I see you recently poked an EM survey tool down that drill hole to see if you could survey for nickel sulfides around the hole. What were the results there? Because I see whatever they were, they set your share price running again.
Yeah, look, this is technology that's grown over the years, and certainly we've used it over the past 10 years, but it's grown in leaps and bounds. We've put it down the hole using a moderate base frequency. If we had used a lower frequency, we wouldn't have been actually able to read the reading. It was off the chart, but certainly it shows that the sulfide mineralisation, which is massive nickel sulfide, is open and unconstrained in all directions around the hole, which we now have to follow up with further diamond drilling work and then further downhole geophysics to actually follow it and see how large this potentially could grow into.
I see a lot of the options in the company are now in the money. A lot of people made a lot of money over the last couple of weeks. Roughly how much do you expect to raise from those options? Because it's quite relevant when you're running a drilling campaign, right?
Yeah, look, drilling deep holes does cost a lot of money. We certainly will be spending the money over the course of the journey, and we have something like $20 million worth of options now deep into the money. We've got some fairly deep-pocketed shareholders that are now converting those options to put money into the bank. In fact, our bank balance today is much, much higher than what it was 3 weeks ago. And in fact, since I've joined the company, is the highest bank balance we've had for some time, and that probably continue to grow as those options are exercised and we continue to drill.
Daws from Estrella Resources, thanks very much for joining me on 6PR today. And just remember, Bulls and Bears is only here to give you information, not advice, which you should of course seek independently. I'm Matt Birney. Thanks for listening to Bulls and Bears.
For more public company CEO interviews, go to the Money page at 6pr.com.au and click the Public Companies tab.